Irving, I have a request. I seek leave to follow the Grey Warden.
Wynne, we need you here. The Circle needs you.
I appreciate the sentiment, Irving. But the Circle will do fine without me. The Circle has you. This man is brave and good, and capable of great things. If he will accept my help, I will help him accomplish his goals.
I would be honored to have you join me, Wynne.
You were never one to stay in the tower when there was adventure to be had elsewhere.
Why stay when I can be of service elsewhere?
Then I give you leave to follow the Grey Warden. But know that you always have a place here. There is much to be done here, and I must go. You must forgive me for not being a proper host.
Let's see. Guess we'll do this in order of increasing importance. If you guys recall, there was a dwarf who wished to come here to study magic. Dagna of Orzammar wishes to study magic here, First Enchanter.
Orzammar? Indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries.
I don't think she minds. She still wants to learn, though.
Fascinating. I suppose the Circle should be flattered.
Indeed, and she's willing to give up both caste and clan for this.
I see. If she is willing to sacrifice so much for this, then we should feel honored. Tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate.
Thank you, First Enchanter.
Ah, if only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives.
You will have an extra pair of hands to help rebuild.
This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle. Thank you.
Can the Circle go to Redcliffe to save a possessed child?
The child is possessed. But killing the demon would mean killing the... Unless you intend to enter the Fade. Yes, it can be done with a group of mages. I shall gather what mages I can, and we shall leave promptly. A life is at stake.
Okay, so after this we can head back to Redcliffe. But just before we do that, let's see if any of these other characters have anything to say. Mr. Cullen?
I wish I could have gone with them. To fight.
You may still get your chance. And finally to Gregor.
My men have scouted the tower. It's a mess, but the abominations are gone. You were very thorough. I'm impressed.
Well, someone had to do it.
And I am thankful you arrived when you did. I shan't keep you then. Farewell.
Perhaps Vexus has made some amount of peace with Gregor.
Let's get started.
Alright, before we head back to Redcliffe, let's take a quick stop at the camp. Alright, let's, Wynne is our newest member, so we should have a chat with her.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
You are very sprightly for your age, though, I'd say.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
Oh, don't say those kinds of things. We still need you.
Oh, no. I'm not the sort of person that leaves things unfinished. I'll see this through, I promise. Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Well, there was Connor.
Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
Seeing the monster that you could become is unsettling, yes.
One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
If one retains one's humanity, one is not an abomination, I'd say.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
And it's probably good that we did, considering that, since we're technically a blood mage, if she ever finds out, we don't want her to instantly slaughter us.
Irving told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle.
You're talking about Jowen?
None other. I respect the decision you made, and the way you handled it. And it did not seem to affect Duncan's desire to recruit you. But that aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you.
I wonder what Irving saw in me that made him recommend me to Duncan.
Do not squander this time trying to explain why Irving picked you. Accept it, and be the Grey Warden you're supposed to be. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.